There is something we talk about all the time, and we always will on this show because it's so, so critical, and it is a battle we all fight. It's one of those little ways you can fight back. We all want to fight back. Here's a way you can do it. Language. The words you use. They are not nothing. It's not no big deal. Words, language, the language that becomes part of the culture is everything. Communists have understood this since the dawn of communism. They understand they need to change the meaning of words. Don't use these words because they're too honest, too revealing. Instead, let's use these words because these words are intended to deceive, to manipulate. The communist is very, very purposeful with his language. We are very honest with ours. And when I say honest, I don't mean to fluff us up here. When I say honest, when you speak, when I speak, we tend to just speak whatever words come to mind, right? Whatever words come out of our mouth. But we are in a battle for our culture. The language is a critical part of that battle. We must be purposeful with the words we speak. Now, maybe you're sitting there saying, Jesse, this is too confusing. I don't understand. What am I supposed to say? Okay, well, set aside what you're supposed to say for a moment. Let's focus on what you're not supposed to say. Whatever he's saying. Whatever language the communists use to describe anything, you can never, ever, 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 ever allow yourself to use it. Because if you use his language, you help make his deceitful language part of the culture. One of the biggest ways he's doing that right now, I could list a million things for you, but one of the biggest ways he's doing that right now is the word democracy. Democracy this, defend democracy. We got to defend democracy. Merrick Garland said it today.
These repeated attacks on the Justice Department are unprecedented and they are unfounded. These attacks have not and they will not influence our decision-making. I view contempt as a serious matter, but I will not jeopardize the ability of our prosecutors and agents to do their jobs effectively in future investigations. I will not be intimidated, and the Justice Department will not be intimidated. We will continue to do our jobs free from political influence, and we will not back down from defending democracy.
Defending democracy. Wow, I've heard that word somewhere before. It's almost like they all say it now.
I think our democracy is at stake. Not a joke. I think democracy is literally at stake.
And God help us all, but democracy itself can fall.
I will not allow American democracy to be undermined.
The choice is going to be so clear this time between Joe Biden, somebody who's protecting democracy, and Donald Trump, who wants to trash it.
If you stay home and you do not exercise the power of your vote, you are giving your power to white supremacist MAGA individuals who are turning this democracy into a fascist state.
We can't lose this democracy. We can't.
But why that word? Why? It's very clearly been done on purpose, as I talked about. They use words with a purpose. Why that word? We are a representative republic. Just for those of you who don't know anything about American civics, we are not a democracy. In fact, the founders were emphatically anti-democracy. Benjamin Franklin once famously said, democracy, it's two wolves and a sheep voting on what to have for dinner. Not only are we not a democracy, that was the last thing we were ever supposed to be, because democracies are evil, evil, evil things. Why would they all say it? Why use that word? Well, let me explain. A representative democracy means the mob, the majority, can never destroy your rights. Ideally, if you live in a representative republic, like we do, a representative republic, then the mob can't ruin you. In a representative republic, they don't get to take a vote of 300 million Americans on whether or not you're allowed to own guns. It's a representative republic. You are allowed to own guns no matter how many people say you can't. In a democracy, it's mob rule. If you are, I don't know, a dirty communist Democrat, and you've spent the last 50, 60 plus years flooding the country with illegals and people from every third world dump around the planet who will now do your bidding whenever you call upon them, well, you're looking at this representative republic and all the rights it's allowed you to keep, and you think to yourself, no, this would work out a lot better for me if we were a democracy. And so that's why they use that word without end. Just one example from today, but that is a word that should never come out of your mouth ever when describing the United States of America. That's the communist's word, and he has chosen that word for a purpose. They don't intend to destroy democracy or to defend democracy. They intend to destroy you. That's why they've arrested Moms for Liberty. Or gone after Moms for Liberty. That's why they've gone after your school board. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, prompted by Merrick Garland, who was prompted by the White House. Remember, we got word that the teachers union coordinated with the White House to send a letter to Merrick Garland angry about angry parents at school board, and Merrick Garland sent the Federal Bureau of Investigation after angry moms. Remember our FBI agent friend, former FBI agent friend, Steve Friend, who was pulled off of child pornography cases to go after school board parents. They're not defending democracy. They intend to destroy you. They intend to destroy your church. They intend to destroy all of their political opponents. Garland was asked today about the DOJ coordinating with New York to go after Trump.
No problem dispatching Matthew Colangelo. Who's Matthew Colangelo?
That is false. I did not dispatch Matthew Colangelo.
Matthew
That's
Colangelo.
false.
Matthew
False.
Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ, and then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the
saying it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. Colangelo anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know
I
what?
can tell you I had nothing to do with it.
Of course, you know the real deal. I know the real deal. Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States of America, views himself as the hatchet man. He sent his little lackey into New York to make sure they can send Donald Trump to prison before he can defeat Joe Biden in an election. You know it, I know it, every single person knows it. Keep in mind what kind of country you live in now, and this is but a taste of the kind of country these people want. Don't fool yourself into thinking, wow, this is horrible, how could it get any worse? Oh, it can get so much worse. And it will get so much worse if we don't get better fighters, if we don't get fighters who do more than talk. One of the most beloved characters in the United States Senate, in the GOP on the right, is Senator John Kennedy. He got up there today and dropped another funny one-liner on him.
Okay, I want you to listen up. Here's the drill. President Biden is in trouble politically. He's polling right up there with fungal infections. Part of the reason for that is that he gave in to the loon wing of his party.
Isn't that so funny? He's polling with fungal infections. Did you hear him? He said he's going to butter her biscuits. That Kennedy's the best. Kennedy goes and votes like a dirty swamp creature, like the dirty swamp rat he is. Kennedy has never done anything with teeth to oppose Democrats, but he gets up and drops some lines about polling and fungal infections, and he drops that Southern accent in there so you know he's really genuine, and we laugh. What are you going to do about it, Senator? No more fungal infections, butter and biscuits. Are you going to do something? Or is it all just for show? We can't defeat the communists with Republicans like this. We have to defeat them first and do better. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right.